Okay, the total number then of transactions, or total number of units, I should say, is how many? 479. Okay, 479. Now, what we're going to do then is we're going to take that 479 and we're going to multiply it times 50%, or 50 cents per unit. Okay? And when we get 479 multiplied times 50 cents, it comes within 50 cents of $240, right? So, now I wouldn't tell Barry we're going to charge him $240. I'd either tell him $200 or $250, just depending upon how seriously I want this client, okay? And the reason why I do that is because I don't want Barry to start asking how I came up with that number. If he asks me how I came up with it, and I say, well, it depends upon how many checks you write and all these different things, what he's going to say is, so you're saying next month if I write fewer checks, you'll charge me less? You don't want to get into that discussion. Just tell them that you use that as a general rule to help you understand about how much time or units of time it's going to take for you to do the work. And on average, for the next 6 months, you plan on charging Barry $250 a month for the accounting and all the services that you provide. And then in 6 months, you'll revisit that and see if there's more work involved or less work. And if there's less work, you're going to reduce your fee. Okay? So that's how you come up with that fee. Now, what if Barry says at that time, $250, I was paying my last accountant $225 a month. Why are you more? Well, first thing, you need to make sure we're talking apples and apples, right? Could it be that you are doing more work than the previous accountant was? Maybe the previous accountant was just not entering all the checks, or maybe not reconciling the bank statement, or not doing something that you plan on offering, okay? If you find out that they were doing about the same amount of work or the same type of work, the next question you got to ask yourself is, why did they leave, okay? Or why did Barry fire him? Maybe there's a reason why that accountant is no longer with them. But let's say that everything's okay and Barry was happy with the previous accountant. You got to make a decision. Do I reduce my fee to match Barry's request? Or do I try to hold strong on the $250? Now, if there's only a $25 difference and Barry liked you and liked what you had to say, probably it's not going to be a concern. And so you could hold strong in that case. But if you wanted to reduce it, you could. However, whenever you reduce the fee, I encourage you to do one thing. Give up a service in the process. Okay? Don't just reduce it without giving up something in the process. And it could be something very simple. It could be, well, listen, this fee considered me coming to your business every week to pick up the materials. Would it be all right if I just came maybe every other week? If I just came every other week and picked up the materials for the last 2 weeks, I could reduce my fee. See, if you reduce your fee too quickly, what's going through Barry's mind? Boy, I'm glad I said something. You know, I'm going to make sure I say something every single time they ever quote me something. So always, you know, when you reduce your fee, try to look for something you can give up, albeit so minor. It might be a very minor item that you give up, but give up something so that Barry isn't thinking it was just kind of a number that you came up with off the top of your head. Okay? So the other thing that can happen, let's imagine that he's saying, Barry says, well, $250, I can understand that would be, you know, that's maybe what you need to have. But I would is there some way we can get that fee down a little bit? Now, that's where Bookkeeping Made Easy comes in. If you were to say, well, sure, there are certain things that we can do here. If you would allow me to, I will be glad to set up a system and train whoever you want me to train to enter the information in, and then I don't need to enter it, and thereby I'll reduce the cost. And I could do the whole thing for $125 if you've got someone else that can do the data entry part of it. See, and then you give up, and by the way, if they do all the data entry, you won't be earning $30 or $40 an hour. You'll be earning $60 or $70 an hour. That compilation section at the end, you earn a lot more per hour if that's where your work is going than the data entry part. Okay? So if they can do the data entry part, you'll be able to do the whole entire accounting. Maybe each month you'll be able to do it in just an hour or two. And $125 a month, That's pretty good per hour, isn't it, that you're earning there? Okay? So don't be afraid to try to help them get their system set up if they're concerned. In most cases, once they understand the benefits to them, once they feel like you care about them, then closing the sale with telling them the fee is not going to be a problem.